So everybody who does soldering pretty much loves the smell of fresh solder in the morning. And even though that smells pretty, we're kind of used to it as electronics designers, it's not really very healthy, is it? So today we're taking a look at a smoke extractor or a smoke absorber. In particular, Element 14 sent me the MulticompPro MP740-146, and believe it or not, this is the unit. Let me put a scale up for scale. So yeah, it's a pretty mid-size-ish unit. Let me just put this there. You can see it's about 6 inches wide and about 7 or 8 inches high. And this thing is essentially a benchtop fume extractor. The way it would, it came out of the box with this thing and a single page pamphlet. Not much needs to be said about the box, except for the fact that it had let me show you, this is the box. It has this, cancer and reproductive harm warning. And so yeah, be careful with that. Sort of couldn't be blurred, but yeah. So unboxing is pretty uneventful. And this is the unit itself. It's looking at the construction of this thing, it's not very heavy, but there's a power cord. This one is a 110 volt model. There's the back of this thing. It says 110 volts, 22 watts, 60 hertz. Essentially it's a fan and a stand. All right. The fins on this thing are designed so that they're actually tilted, so it would pull air and it wouldn't push air straight back. It would actually be sending away the air. Okay. The reason why is this: not only can it be used in a vertical condition like this on your tabletop, but also like that. So the idea of the design is that air flows into these vents and then it's pushed backwards. So it can be used in both ways. I think this way it just takes up more space than it should. It's more effective vertically, and I haven't turned it on yet, but seems like a fairly big fan. What I am looking to do is I'm currently using this. So this is a small fan that I extracted out of, I think, an old computer, and I kind of hot glued a switch to it with a power supply, and it kind of works for the most purposes. It just sits there at the table just doing its thing, which is pretty much okay. This thing has a active carbon filter. So this thing is an active carbon filter. According to the manual, they say this should be replaced by like a month or 2 months. So I'm not too sure about this. This filter can be taken out and exchanged, and if I take it apart, this is the underlying fan. The strip on this up here is the LED. Curious thing about this is, I read the manual. It has a switch, so it doesn't have a speed control, but the smoke absorber, it has a only fan and then a fan and light setting. So let me see if I can hook it up and try to see if I can get this run. Okay, that's plugged in. Look at the unit. And so let's turn it on, see what it does. Holy crap, that's loud. I don't know if you can hear this. That's loud. That's really loud. But the airflow seems well. So there's the airflow I can actually feel the air here. So looking at, there's no air here, but I can actually feel the air up here. So it's actually pushing the air to the side. There's the switch. I can see there's a little bit of a PCB in there. Some other stuff. We'll open it up in a minute and turn it on, and there's a light. So I don't know if you can see this. There's actually I think should be a PCB with some of these white LEDs, and this white film is like a diffuser. And yeah, the fan is actually the airflow is quite good. Let's try it with I don't think the filter would actually have too much of an impact. And the airflow, Yep, it's pretty okay. We'll do a soldering iron test just to be on the safe side. But wow, it's loud. The one that I'm using, this thing, the reason why I'm using this is because it's not loud. And this being a benchtop solder fume absorber, it's basically a fan with a carbon film. Right off the bat, I can say I would have liked it to have a speed control of some sort. But I'm going to have to open it up. Yeah, there's a screw there. Let's see if we can just open this up anyway. I think that would just remove. I'm not going to fully open the screws up. Let's unscrew them just a tad bit. Let's see if I can feel it opening up, or it's just the fan dropping out. So, yep, it's the front chassis. So let me open it up. Not much to it actually. Screw. There we go. Should be able to kind of pop it open. Ooh, all right. So, oh, wow. All right. So this is the insides, the guts of this thing. Not much to it, as expected. Aten. The board has the. I don't know if you can see this. It says Aten on the board. This is going to be just a fan. Pretty okay. Oh, this is a good fan. It's a YCC fan company. So this is actually a metal fan. It's not a plastic thing. It's definitely good quality there. Let me see if there's actually a controller in there somewhere. Not much to do with the LED setup. It's just a board with a regulator down there. It's a AC to DC converter for driving the LEDs, and not much to it. Let me just, and they've done good work on the zip ties and stuff, so pretty good. Okay, inside, this actually doesn't match the picture that I saw on the website. It was actually green colored. This one's kind of ugly black. That was ugly green, but both are ugly. Okay, how are they actually having this? So this is the switch back there. That I have to kind of break open the switch to get it. There's a mauve for protection. Good electronics there. Nah, not gonna bug around with the lamp setup. You can actually replace it with an RGB LEDs. I would actually replace this with an RGB LED just for the fun of it, and have a small micro instead. I can't actually take this apart, but they've done some stuff okay. Another thing that I noticed is there's no fuse. So they have electronics here, they have a fan here, but they have no fuse. There's a mauve, but there's no fuse. Which is weird. They should have at least a fused input, but that's how they do it. Okay, I've got the setup the way I want it, hopefully. Okay, let me bring in the good stuff. This is rosin flux. Okay, got that. Now I need something of a stick. Okay. Sacrifice the screwdriver. Sacrifice the screwdriver. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna take a little bit of rosin flux. Add it to this one. And this is gonna make enough of a mess. Okay. Close that out. Close, close, close. There we go. Let's see what this will do. There we go. There's the smoke. Flux melting. Beautiful one. I don't know if you can see this. It's actually beautiful globs of solder. Let me see if I can bring the camera to a lower angle. Okay, change of angle. Okay, this is my fat tummy. And let's do this one more time. I don't know if you can see this yet. So let's add a little solder. You should be able to see through the lens I don't know if you can set the angle correctly or not. That's what the actual setup is for. See the... Ah, there we go. See? Those little thingies. Okay. Got a good amount of solder in there. There's smoke coming out of this thing. Okay. So, pretty okay. Heating everything up. A lot of smoke. Let's turn on old geezer. Boy, that thing's loud. Okay. And it does what it's supposed to. Just remove this thing on the side. There we go. And when I add heat to this, you can see it's actually pulling, doing its job. Let's put this a little further away, because I don't want any SMD components sucked in. Meh. Okay-ish. Section's pretty okay, but I don't know if you can see this, but the smoke's actually going up. So you kind of have to be quite near this thing to, you know, be able to actually use this. Shiny blobs. Okay, so let me try this one more time. Added a little bit of stuff there. So I'm trying to solder some pins that don't exist. I'm just trying to solder things on. Soldering on, soldering on, soldering on. Meow, 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 meow. It's 98% effective, I'd say, at absorbing this smoke, even at this distance. And this is somewhere around about 20 millimeters away. Okay, so 20 millimeters. Some of the smoke's actually escaping its thing. So the other thing I want to test out today is if I put it here, what comes out of the back. So yeah, it absorbs it, and I'm not sure if it actually see if it actually does what it does. So it does a lot of the stuff. It does absorb smoke up to 15 millimeters, I guess. Sorry, 15 centimeters, I guess. It's up to 15 centimeters or 20 centimeters. It pulls air at short distances. But after that, I'm not really sure of. Just try one more thing. Let's try it one more time. Flipped it over, and now let's try to do the same thing. And it's on, boom, boom, you know, there we go. And so if I do soldering here, yeah, even at a small distance, if it's not in line with it, you know, it's actually kind of pushing stuff back. It's not really, you know, you really need to be near this thing to be able to absorb it. So as far as the horizontal thing goes, not extremely confident that it's actually useful. Not only does it take up more space, it's like, you can see the smoke kind of going here and there. Yeah, I think the vertical mode's a little better. Well, better. Okay, let's put it like that. Come here, boy. Okay, stare at it. Why not turn on the light? There we go. That's rosin flux for you. Kind of does an okay job. Yeah, now you can see it's escaping. There we go. I already see this escaping. I'm not sure. It's got a lot of smoke in, but it's still escaping. Some of the air is actually escaping. So it kind of lets loose. Nope. Okay, moment of truth. So, is this fume extractor worth the $100 price tag? And does it really add value to your workshop? After having torn the thing down, looking inside the inside, yeah, you're getting quite a bit of bang for your buck, especially considering the metallic fan. The good quality fan, and there's a light and all that stuff. The fan size is quite good, the airflow is excellent, and it's a sturdy build. And also comparing it with the other more expensive fume extractors available on the market, and I've seen some reviews on Element 14, it does a pretty good job. So we're actually looking at the fan and looking at the chassis, and it's a metallic fan and everything, the airflow. I think it's a good addition to any workshop. This is definitely not one of the items that somebody with a hobbyist grade setup would actually buy, considering that you can buy something on the order of $30 off of Amazon with a carbon filter and something very similar, something that's actually quite usable. That's not exactly the same thing, but is passable. So this thing will kind of last the whole, the carbon film, the filter will last you about a month or so, but everything else, the fan and all that, will last you, this particular thing will last you more number of years. Whereas for a hobbyist grade $30 stuff that you buy off of eBay or Amazon will probably last you about a year, which is good enough for hobbyist grade. So considering everything, this is a good buy for professional workshops, but not the greatest purchase for your typical hobby grade workbenches. Well, that's it for me. I hope you found this review useful, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.